Hey, but guys, this year I committed atrocities against God and mankind. There's this thing in some men's minds that when they buy you chips, chips, yeah, 20 bob, that they have now invested. That's a serious investment in their minds. They want to sleep with you. But the number of times I have had to do babysitting in the name of age is just a number. Guys, it's a headache. Hi guys, how are you doing today? How is Christmas season? How is the festive season taking you? Today is Friday, 29th. I've just woken up, 29th of December, and I'm in the village. I'm in Shags, and I love being in Shags because it just makes me relaxed. Like I feel relaxed. I feel so relaxed. I woke up today in such a reflective mood, and I was like, why not record something since I'm in this mood? You know, I'm currently reflecting on how my year has been, and I thought, why not share it with you guys? Because I mean, I now have a YouTube channel. Hello, and so consider this a 2023 reflection video, because I feel like this year God has shown me how good it can really get, but the universe has also shown me how bad it can get. So I wrote down a few points on like lessons learned to like sum up how my year has actually been. So I'll share it with you guys just right now. That's why I'm shooting this video. So the first one is on a high note, like probably the highlight of my year. It's that when your time comes, you will graduate. Guys, I think I had the graduation of the year. I had the graduation of the year for sure. Everything was well organized. Everything was like there was attention to detail. And I think I'm a perfectionist. I love it when my things go perfectly. And from the content, you guys who follow me on socials, you know me as you let them more graduation, let them early graduate. And the party, the after party, it was late. And shout out to my mom because honestly, she's the one who made it happen. She was the brains and major finances behind it, because I feel like that's one thing she really prides herself in. For most of my life, my mom was a single mom, and even when she remarried, the one thing she continuously prides herself in is educating me, like paying my school fees. So right from nursery to university, she's been my sponsor. Let's say that she's been my sponsor and did it single-handedly without even support from a man. But then, and that trend continued even when she remarried, because she felt like that was the one thing she she could say she's done for me. Like that was her pride. All right, and I really appreciate her for that. And she ensured even with the party, it was perfect. All right, so mama ni mtu wa sherehe, so she didn't let me down on that one. But I said when the time comes you'll graduate, because my story is not the normal kind of person story. First of all, I'm a teacher's kid, right? And a high school teacher's kid. Let's start there. That means my parents are usually busy helping people's children get A's, and then there's me who didn't get that A. So while people who got the minimum entry requirement to uni, that's a C plus, went to university for their 4 years, I was doing more because I had start from a diploma and then a bachelor's. But then in the long run, I still got that bachelor's. All right. It doesn't matter how long it takes, just get it. All right. When your time comes, you will graduate. That's the one lesson I've learned. And that should apply in various aspects in life, to various aspects in life, because there's really no perfect timing for anything. Every your time, even Jesus. Okay, I'm now deviating. When Lazarus died, Jesus was four days late, according to the people around, according to man. But imagine he was still on time because he still resurrected Lazarus. So when your time comes, that's the lesson. When your time comes, it will happen. When the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen. Isaiah something something. I'm not that much of a non-Bible reader. I read my Bible sometimes. In fact, I'm getting into that habit actively. Wait, now I'm taking too much time on one point. Let's move to the other one. The other one is that you don't have to be the most talented or hardworking to actually get recognition for something, to win something. There's this thing about God's favor, and it locates you when it locates you. Like you cannot beat it. So this year I won the People's Choice Awards 2023, Female Dancer of the Year. Now, there was a whole list of nominees who are all super talented. In fact, I actually questioned why I found myself in that list at first initially, because I didn't even nominate myself. If it was one thing, if I would have like sent my name somewhere, but I just got an email telling me, hey, hello, you've been nominated. And you've been nominated. And when I saw the list, I immediately counted myself out because I was like, what the heck? How do you expect me to go up against these people who work their asses off in the industry? Then there's me over there who just dances number one when she feels like it on the road, like it's normally just for fun. I've never actually considered it a career, but here I was winning with this award, winning the nomination, and I was like, this is such a Jesus moment for me because what happened, you see, and it's funny how it's not funny, it's touching how people really believed in me in this moment and thought me worthy to win it. Wengi hawaku believe, but God chose me, so it happened. It happened according to His plan. Okay, all right. Don't underestimate God's favor. Whenever you're praying for yourself, ensure you pray and ask Him to favor you because it does wonders. It does things for you that you probably would never see coming. All right. So never say never. This is the year I've done things I never thought I would do in life. Like things you hear people have done and you judge them. Like you don't judge them actively, but you give them this side eye in your heart. You're like, how dare you? Hey, but guys, this year I committed atrocities against God and mankind. All right? I committed serious sins. Serious sins. And after like doing the whole process and after the processes, I was just like, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Like I am turning into the very people I judged. All right, earlier on in my years, like, and the thing with adulthood is that you have to make a choice. All right, it's either left or right. And it's not like when you're a kid when your parents can make the choice for you because they know better. This in adulthood, you are the choice maker. And you don't have time to make that choice. You have to make it immediately. All right. Before situations erupt. So I think never say never is a big lesson for me. In fact, these days, if someone even tells me I murdered someone, I will not judge them because tomorrow it might be me murdering someone. God forbid. But if someone tells me the worst possible thing you can think of that they've done it, I won't judge them because it might be me tomorrow in that same situation. All right. Never say never. Like as long as you're alive, things are bound to happen. All right. And the choices, and you'll have to make choices that when those things happen, and there are choices that you would never expect you'd make. All right. So let's be more graceful to people who are going through stuff or who are doing things that don't quite align with your beliefs or values because it might be you the next day. Like never say never, guys. All right. And then I'll combine that with this next point that just because your actions have serious consequences doesn't necessarily mean you've learned. People normally say you should learn from your actions, you should learn from your mistakes, and all these short stories. But imagine it doesn't necessarily mean you've learned. You can do the worst possible thing, and imagine 6 months later you'll be doing the same exact thing. It doesn't necessarily mean you've learned, and unless, like, even if you've learned, why you'll still just find yourself in that mess. All right. So I think I don't know how this life operates. There's no manual to it, but I'm just saying be more graceful with yourself. Be more gracious. Forgive yourself for things you've done wrong, and move on intentionally. I think that's the word. If there's something you can do to prevent a recurrence of the same, do it. All right, because you might find yourself in that situation in the future, and you'll be like, "I thought once bitten, twice shy." Guys, it doesn't necessarily mean you've learned anything. Where this life can give you serious character development. So it's good to always stay alert, core alert. All right. And then the next one is kind of personal. It is personal. And it's that it's okay to start something and quit it. All right. I am passionate about, okay, I am a creative. All right. So I'm passionate about creating. This year is the year I did things afraid. Number one, I started a YouTube channel. That's why you're watching this. And that's something I don't know why it took me this long to start it, because I'm someone who my life is content, literally. So I started a YouTube channel. That's good. Kudos to me. We are still moving strong. But then I also started dance classes in Kisumu. I decided to begin teaching dance because I felt like I needed to share this craft of mine with other people. And I thought in my mind that people would be as receptive to it. Like in your mind, when you're launching something, you just hope for the best, all right? But then unafika kwa ground and the best was not waiting for you. I never made sense to that statement, but just try and understand me. My dance classes were picking up. Initially, they were just going well, steady, steady. Then I traveled to Nairobi for like a week because I needed to graduate. So I missed two classes. I missed showing up for two classes, but now I communicated that on my socials because I'm majorly a social media. I majorly market myself on social media, social media marketer. That's what I wanted to say. And then when I came back from graduation, people simply were not showing up for my classes. Like I remember going to class three three Sundays in a row, and there was no one coming. And what bothered me is the fact that people were telling me they would come. Like on socials, whenever I'd post to market it, people were like, they'd come. People would even talk to me on DMs, like personally, and ask me about the details. I'd give them, and then they'd be like, oh, see you this coming Sunday. Only for me to sit alone in those coming Sundays, wondering what's happening. What the heck is this? And starting this whole thing, I did not particularly feel supported by my friends. That's another thing. My friends in Kisumu. Perhaps if I launched it in Nairobi, my friends in Nairobi would have been more receptive to it. Because people who showed up for my classes, number one, okay, there were some friends, all right, some friends of mine did, but they came with their friends, and then that was cute. But then most were people who just know me from social media. All right. And I have people I consider friends in this city who did not show up. Like, it's not supposed to be a big deal, but to me, it kind of is. Like, people would even be talking to, like, we'd be having conversations with people around me. Then they'd be like, oh, I wish you all the best. But then they'd never even, like, show up and all that. So it kind of hurt my feelings. Let's be honest. It did. And I remember telling myself how I would never support any friend's business. I actually told myself that. That I would never um support. And let me give an example of I have struck hard. I don't know our situation now, our status now, but a really close friend. I consider her a best friend, and she's a makeup artist. She launched her makeup business, and she never showed up for my classes, and she was always in Kisumu. Like she's been in Kisumu actively, all right? So when I felt unsupported by her, I had my graduation coming up, all right? I had my graduation coming up. I felt unsupported by her. Let's start from there. So for my graduation, I was like, why would I even book her services for makeup? Like, if we are not supporting each other but are claiming to be friends, let's just be friends without supporting each other's businesses, you see? So I obviously booked someone else, and she was mad. Actually, she's still not talking to me till now because she feels like I didn't support her. But newsflash, I also didn't feel supported by that, and probably by her. And probably that's a conversation we should have. Like we should talk about it. But then we can't afford to have such double standards. Like if you do not support me and then I do not support you, now you are mad at me. And I wasn't mad at, okay, I was mad at you, but that did not stop me from talking to you. It just stopped me from booking your services. Anyway, P for petty. I feel like if I continue talking about that issue, I'll come out as a very bad person, and I don't want to be labeled as a bad person, guys. We are getting into the new year. that's the thing. I started Chamtum, the classes, and then I had so much hope for it for the future. But right now, I'm falling out of love with it. Like I don't want to do it, and that's the thing. It started affecting my craft. When you start overthinking, like you're like, am I not good enough? Am I nah, 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 and other short stories? You simply quit. All right, you simply quit, and that's where I'm at because I'm not going to let it hinder, like affect my dance esteem. All right, because I know I have a craft. People just don't want to support me, and that's fine because people make choices in life. People don't have to support you, by the way. The world, it's not always about me, it's not always about you. So it's fine. So at least I started it. I made the bold step and it didn't pick up as well as I expected it to. So that's just it. It's fine. Here in Meenda. All right. I'll continue dancing online and it's okay. It's okay. Perhaps I'll rebirth it. I'll give it a rebirth. It will go through a rebirth in the future, but probably I need proper strategy and to work on my skill more because perhaps I'm not as good as I think. Anyway, um, in addition to that, TikTok is better than Instagram, way better than Instagram. I've been on Instagram since like 2015, and my followers are still around 6,000 and something. I joined TikTok last year, April, and I'm headed to 30K followers. With TikTok, I see that consistency actually pays. Like I'm a living testimony because the growth there, and then Apple, people like random strangers literally support you. Instagram kind of limits it to the people who are following you, but then with TikTok, you see growth. So from next year, I'll be creating more on TikTok. So follow me on TikTok at Wanda, WANDA dot Achieng. By dot is it's like the full stop, then Achieng. I feel like that's now my stronghold and I'll focus on it because this idea of trying to grow on Instagram is so frustrating. It's also frustrating and me, I don't have that time for frustrations. All right, so the next few ones are attacks to the opposite gender. So that I don't hate men. I love men. I mean, God created us to coexist. But then sometimes they act like wild animals. Now, my next point is that you do not owe a man shit, especially not your body. There's this thing in some men's minds that when they buy you chips, chips here 20 bob, that they have now invested. That's a serious investment in their minds. They want to sleep with you. Just because we've gone out and you've seen that I'm attractive and bought me a beer for 250 bob does not mean at the end of the night I'm going to give you my cookie, friends or not. All right. I've been in a situation this year where we went out as a group of friends and then we were sleeping at a B&B. All right. But this particular guy wasn't actually my friend. He met me on that day and he's over there. Like he came to where I was sleeping and wants to forcefully be with me because, and then he's telling me how. Okay, because no, during at the club, obviously, guys, we were all dancing. It was a good time, and I'm a good dancer. So perhaps the way I was dancing was suggestive, but I was innocently dancing. I love dancing. So now we go to sleep. We go to the place where we're going to sleep, and he's coming to tell me how he's up. This guy was stupid. How he's about to divorce his wife. They're divorcing in December. It's been a while since he got Sam. I'm like, hello, sir, please. I'm a virgin. Why do you feel the need? Like, how is it my business that you're getting divorced? I just met you. Even if I didn't just meet you, while you were at the altar taking those vows, making those vows, was I involved? So why are you now involving me when things have gone mrama? Telling me, please. The way I kicked that person out of my face, I'm sure he's still healing. Because how is it my business? Like I really did not get it. I did not get it. It really annoyed me. And that's just one example. Like I could go on and on and on about how these creatures behave And it just annoys me. It really annoys me that they feel like our bodies are transactional. Like, because you bought me alcohol that I can afford, now I should give you my body. Just tell me to give you the money of what that alcohol. Like, you don't owe a man shit. Girls, stand up. Women, stand up. Say no. Say no and mean it. Say it to the straight face. Kwani atadu? Okay, I've heard of cases of them going violent, but you don't owe them anything. You don't have to fear saying no. Say it strongly, say it confidently because you don't owe them anything. All right? And then men will constantly embarrass you. Men will constantly embarrass you properly, guys. So I invited I invited the love of my youth, my campus sweetheart, to my graduation party. All right, among the many other guests that were present, he was there, and I thought everything was okay and the party went well until the next day when my friends were telling me how he was hitting on them and even shared a kiss with one. I was like, what's happening? At my party, you come to embarrass me. Like, of course, my friends will tell me they're my friends. Their loyalty lies with me. Like, they're loyal to me, not to you. So, why are you going around parading your lips in other girls' mouths? Like, that thing, it really bothered me. And I asked him, I told him, I confronted him about it. And obviously, who is a man? A man will always deny unless you're caught red handed. That's the rule. So, that whole situation really did not sit well with me because I felt embarrassed, number one, because these are people my friends know about. This is someone my friends know about. Like I've told them about him, and then here he is. Anyway, the point is that men will embarrass you. Don't trust a nigga. Thanks. Number 9, my ninth lesson. It's 9 out of 10, guys. We're almost finishing. Is that it can never work out between me and younger guys. Like, I get it. Age is just a number, but the number of times I have had to do babysitting in the name of age is just a number. Guys, it's a headache. It's a headache. Like, you find yourself praying for a partner, and then the universe sends your way a guy who's a year younger than you. All right? 1 year. And I get it. Some of you are in such relationships and they're working for you guys. Good for you. So now that's the mentality I went with into 2023. I was like, you know what? Maybe these young ones have young romance and are going to make me feel young again, because if I'm a year older than you, then that means I'm basically your mamas. So now I get into them with hope for the future. And no sooner than I begin plotting my escape immediately because I simply cannot. Like, it's constant babysitting. Like, ah, I won't get into the details because perhaps some may feel attacked if they watch this video, but I can't continue babysitting. Like, God, just give me a 30-year-old because I'm 24. So 4 to 6 years older is okay. But this idea of the younger ones, like, if someone is 24, they should be waiting for their soulmates to finish high school. All right, so that they now embark on this journey of knowing each other, not coming to disrupt the peace of mamas like myself. You see, so in fact, the most recent one told me, is most recent, correct English, I'm just recent, told me I'm acting so overrated. Acting so overrated because, number one, okay, let me tell you guys a story. Let me give you guys a small story time. I told him I'm trying to reduce my screen time because I'm a phone addict. Like, I'm trying to stop using my phone consistently, like constantly. And the first thing the guy says is the next thing the guy said, instead of him telling me, "Oh, I'm proud that you are taking these measures to become a better person." Like if someone, it's like quitting an addiction, it's like quitting drugs, it's like quitting pornography. You see, because phone addiction is a real thing. Instead of him being proud of me, he starts throwing tantrums, starting to tell me good night at 6 p.m. Like, what the heck? Like, is there something wrong? Like, me, I don't have time to deal with such small things. That's being so petty. And if I, the moment I do not feel supported, like, so he wants me to continue with my phone addiction so that I give him attention. In fact, me, this romance for over the phone, I'm really struggling with it. I'm really struggling with it. It's about time now we move in with our partners, because what the heck? What the heck? Like, mm, people should stop doing, surely. Me and younger guys is a no. I have tried it. Like, I listened to my friends and decided, let me not be too hard on them. Let me try it this year. Now the other one just kept asking me for money. Like, because he's still in campus. Guys, I was in my mama's era in 2023. Atiana pesa ya lunch. Like, so now how is that my business? Ati nimtumie 80. You guys, I'm a man who's attracting the wrong younger guys. Ati so ati buy hizo omena. Let me not judge. Let me not judge. Perhaps I'm the one who gave them the motherly vibes. I was a safe space. I was a mother. So, eh, me and babysitting, we are done. This year was the last year. I've experienced it. I've tested and seen, and it's not my portion. I only want to be subscribed to the baby girl lifestyle from today henceforth. Period. All right. Now, the last and final point is don't sweat the small stuff, and it's all small stuff. This was actually inspired by a book that Prudence, my childhood friend, got me during my graduation. And for real, like, always, I'm learning to always just try to look at the glass half full. It's not always an emergency. Like, life isn't an emergency, guys. Like, things happen, we move, we figure out how to move and all that, so, and whatnot. So don't sweat the small stuff. It's all small stuff. There's no manual to this life. We're all just trying a day at a time. All right. So, and with that, the 2023 season comes to an end. I hope you guys had a beautiful year. If not, we try again next year and the other years. Life is for the living, guys. All right. So with that said, have a beautiful festive season. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. Let's meet in 2024. Perhaps I'll have a final video dropping after this. But if not, let's just have a happy 2024. I'm currently in a reset mode. I'm resting at home in shags and I'm loving it. So, yeah. Bye.